Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Thursday evening and I thought I would come and sit and have a bit of a longer chat with you. First, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who has commented over last night's video. As you may have noticed, last night I was a mess. And I just basically shut down after I'd done the video, and it was this morning when I woke up and I saw so many comments, so much support, and I just cannot thank you enough. That is just huge. You don't expect that. That wasn't what I expected when I put out that video. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's taken the time to put a comment down and let me know they're thinking of me. I mean, it blew me away. So thank you so much. Um, Today, obviously, I went to work this morning, came back, and my brain has been doing lots of circles and things. But we think we have a plan sorted. So we're just going to be as frugal as possible, get the house sold, and get this place bought. And thank you as well to everyone who suggested about what we can do to make sure that Kat's okay with this house. And hopefully, we should get a lawyer's appointment in the next wee while and make sure that we have it covered so that Kathleen is not left with nothing. I did not work all these years and pay this mortgage this long for my daughter to be left without anything, without a roof over her head. So that's the cunning plan so far. This afternoon, Kat has just taken the dog out for a walk. She was a big bundle of fur. She had her first bath last night. That was quite epic, shall we say. She looks tiny when she's wet, and then all of a sudden she just goes poof. So that's quite huge. So yeah, it's been a quiet day, but I have to say that after yesterday and the sort of, I don't know what to call it, the sort of speeding up of plans. I knew it was coming. I didn't think it would be as quick as it has been. Um, Obviously, for years now, in the background of what you see on here, there has always been the lawyers, the care homes, the doctors. That's all been going on in the background, because basically, I would say probably for about the last 12 years, mum and dad basically left everything to me paperwork wise. I dealt with everything for their house, bills wise, you know, bank wise, etc., etc. They had went and had their wills updated and thought they had everything covered, and they did, as long as one of them died or one of them went into a care home. As soon as they were both in care homes, that was it. All bets were off. So yeah, that's definitely, if you're in a similar situation, it can change things very, very quickly. I think from the second parent going into a care home, you get 12 weeks to sell the house. So yeah, that was quite a thing, having to clear out the house, get it. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I said, it was in a very up and coming area, so it didn't take long to sell. But the clearing it out was epic, shall we say. Um, and that's why my house is still partly a disaster zone, because I still have so much stuff here from mum and dad's. And that's something to think of as well, is, what have you got in the house? What do you not need? As I've said, I think in a previous video, they call it the Swedish death cleaning now. You do it now so that your kids don't have to, which I think is a really good idea. Take it from someone who, dad didn't clean out pretty much anything from his parents in that house. We moved in there, we updated it, and we still kept most of the stuff. So that was 3 generations worth of stuff I had to clear out that house. So that was quite epic as well. So that's something to think of. The decluttering your house, not for yourself, but for what happens if you're not able to do it yourself later on. I know it's a very depressing thought, but actually, from your kids' point of view, it makes things so much easier. So, yeah, as I say, for about 12 years, I've been the person dealing with all of that, and so yesterday sort of brought it down to this is it. There's nothing left of the home that my father just adored and was so proud of. And I mean, it's already been sold. And as I say, I bought the properties for mum and dad from that smaller ones. But it's still a thing that, that was, I mean, he just loved that house to bits. We all did. And it very, very quickly had to go, which was quite a shock to the system. I was not prepared for that. So, if you're possibly going to be in that situation, check and see. Try not to have it that it's such a shock to the system as it was for me. But yeah, sorry. Let's cheer it up a bit. So we have the plan. We're going to get things sold, and we're going to get this sorted. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to stay frugal. Because I've managed to clear up debt, I've managed to deal with emergencies, all because of the way I changed how I was living. And I mean, one of the biggest things is the food that I buy now. Compared to early food shops, you can see there was so much more pre-prepared food. There was so much more like, you'd probably actually, if I think back, I was probably paying about £100 a week for shopping. Now I'm paying about £100 a month. I know that you'll see on the shoppings, on the videos, that I pay, I'll shop every week. Some shops are £20, some shops are £70. A lot of it is what I can put aside for when I have no spend weeks, for when I'm doing batch cooking. I mean, genuinely, it has saved us so much money. So if you haven't started looking at, just maybe batch cooking, that was a huge game changer for us. Getting the air fryer instead of the oven, that saved on electric costs, etc. It definitely has made a huge, huge difference. So thankfully, we're still able to stay on an even keel, but still save money. So hopefully, if I get things right, I should be able to start paying down this mortgage quite quickly. Quickly being like the next 5 years or so. So we'll see. Because the mortgage finishes, I think, in 10 years. So that would be me just chopping off, half of the time that's left. And I think if I'm right, it's something about if you pay off extra, it reduces your interest payments. So therefore you end up, that you can shorten the payment time quite considerably. So that's the plan, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But apart from that, everything is going well. I've got my new crochet, says her. There you go, I've just dropped the crochet hook. This one says her, where did I drop the crochet hook from? I'm trying not to pull out stitches. There we go. Right. So this one, I know it's strange colouring, but this one's wool. This is different balls of wool that I have that's actual wool. I was going to knit wrist warmers before I realised that I couldn't knit. But it's too scratchy. Now, I don't know about you, I'd completely forgotten about this, that real wool can be really scratchy. So what I need to do, I think, while I'm away this time, and there's a wool shop where we're going at the end of this month, then I'm going to go to a wool shop and I'm actually going to try all the different types of wool, because I know on one of the websites I've seen that there's this superwash wool. And I'm just wondering, is that the soft stuff that doesn't itch or scratch? Because I remember when I was a kid, Mum giving me stuff that was wool and it itched and it was horrible and I hated it. And it never seemed to soften down no matter how much you washed it. So that's my new blankie, and it's the proper wool one. So it will be used for me sitting in here to stay cosy, because there's, once the weather turns, and especially it's like autumn and spring, so we're just starting to think about autumn weather here, although it's supposed to be really nice weather this weekend. After that, I think it's going to cool down, because it's already cooled down quite a bit. But at the moment, it's not cool enough to put the wood burner on, but it's cool enough to have a blankie over your legs. Do you see what I mean? It's just, I'm sure you understand, there's that certain time, it's like when you have when you're, well, obviously this is the sort of thing I wear to work, and you've got the t-shirt, and then you've got the t-shirt with the strappy top under it, and then you've got the t-shirt with the cardigan, which is what I've been wearing recently. I'm now on the t-shirt with the strappy top with the cardigan. And then it's going to get to the t-shirt with the long sleeved top underneath and the cardigan. And that, you sort of go through these stages of layers adding up to what you're going to wear as the weather gets colder. You stop wearing the little cutesy trainer socks and you start wearing the knee highs to keep your legs warm. You stop wearing your thin trousers and start putting on your heavier jeans. So yeah, that's what that blanket is for. That blanket's going to be for just, pretty much when I'm finished it will be perfect timing, because it's just starting to cool down here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at night now when I'm sitting trying to catch up on whatever series. I've just watched a whole lot of, what did I watch? Criminal Minds. So I finished that series. I've started watching Bones, but I think I'm just like, no, it's too, I don't know. It's just too bitty for me. So if anyone's got any recommendations for good TV series, then please let me know, because that would be most appreciated. Because I've noticed, I never used to watch TV. I used to sit with a laptop on my knee. But since I've put the laptop on the desk with the screen now, I will actually sit and watch TV, and that means I've got my hands free to do the crochet. So I'm being constructive while I'm watching TV, which I haven't been in the evenings for years. So I'm loving this. Granted, the constructive can only be crochet, because if I do knitting, it hurts my hands with arthritis. But I can crochet shawls and I can crochet blankies. So I will just keep crocheting blankies, because Food Train, the charity that we donated to last year, they're doing a knit-a-thon and looking for lap blankets for their clients. So I can donate the blankies, and I'll probably hit the charity shops to see what wool they've got, because I'll just do a lot of fit your blankets, as in finish the yarn. I'll just do a lot of them, because nobody really bothers, unless you're putting it pretty on your bedspread or a display on your couch, nobody really bothers what a lap blanket looks like, as long as it's cozy. So that's my cunning plan. So now I'm going to finish off before Kathleen and the dog comes back, because the dog always comes in to tell me what she's seen on her walk, etc., and get lovings. And she comes barreling in the back door, and she will take out the table that tripod's on. So I'm going to go and save my tripod and my phone. I hope you're having a good evening. And again, thank you so much to everyone who commented in last night's video. I just can't thank you enough. It made such a difference to see them. So yeah, thanks for that. Catch you later.